Hey, it's Dr. Flanary, and we haven't answered any questions in a while, so I thought at the end of my day, I'm tired, but I thought I'd answer a few questions for everybody. So here's some that we've gotten here lately, and I thought y'all would all like to know the answers to. Number one, it says, what exotic animal feeds do you recommend for such as rabbits, guinea pigs, hedgehogs? Mazuri, it's M-A-Z-U-R-I, Mazuri, is a brand of feed that is made by Purina, and it is specific for different types of exotic animals. They have one for potbelly pigs, they have them for all kinds of animals. And that's the one that I recommend and I like the best. There's another one called Oxbow pet food line, and they have a lot of them for like rabbits, guinea pigs, and such, and that would work well as well. Try to stay away from the cheaper ones that you would buy at like Rural King or that you would buy at like Walmart, please. All right, the next thing is, it talks about, what kind of toys do you recommend for dogs that are aggressive chewers and want to tear things up? Well, you would not imagine how many times we hear that the people come home and their dog has tore up a toy and they can't find the stuffing or they can't find the squeaker inside. So if your dog is one of those dogs, and believe me, I have one, her name is Ellie, that will tear up anything if you leave her alone in the house, then you need to make sure that you don't leave her with things she can tear up. My own child Ellie has to go in her own little big little cage in her own little room when Mama leaves the house, because if I leave her there, she'll shred anything such as my pillows and eat it. So we don't want that. That's probably one of the most common things that we see is, especially younger dogs, come home, not eating, not feeling good, and then we find out, they're full of like fiber and cotton. So we don't want that. Things that I do recommend are Kong toys. Kong toys have a guarantee that they are indestructible. And that guarantee usually works, although I have seen a few dogs that have broken that. And they have proved Kong wrong because they have destroyed those toys. I don't really think anything is totally 100% indestructible. There's another chew toy called a Nylabone, and it also is pretty good. But again, it could be chewed up on some of these dogs that we've seen. Things that I don't recommend is, do not feed your dog pig ears. Do not feed your dog antlers to chew on. Do not feed your dog like, what else we got? Pig ear, bully sticks, and rawhides. Don't feed any kind of weird body part off of a cow or something that they have for sale at Walmart or another farm store. That is not good. First of all, you don't know where those things have come from. Most of them come here actually from China. Secondly, it's got all that weird coating on it, and a lot of that makes dogs sick. And like pig ears are pure fat. So a lot of times people feed their dogs pig ears and then they get a pancreatitis. So stay away from all of those. Those are bad. Weird body parts from other animals that they dry out and want to give to dogs is not good. And antlers. We've had lots of the people let their dogs chew on those elk and deer antlers. But what happens is they'll chew off like a little piece like that, and it gets lodged in the intestines. Or worse, we've seen a lot of them go through the intestines. So please don't do that. Again, that leads me to my on my soapbox, do not feed your dog any kind of bone. Chicken bones, steak bones, pork chop bones, no kind of bones. Ham bones, none. Bones are not good. As they go through the system, they splinter. And I have seen dogs die because people thought they were doing a good thing by feeding them like rib bones or something, but they didn't, because they ruptured in through the intestines and they got a peritonitis. No bones. Next question. My dog says that after we give them the heartworm prevention, sometimes they vomit. The rule of thumb on most heartworm preventions, if they vomit after 1 to 2 hours, then your heartworm prevention is still good. But if they vomit within that 1 to 2 hour frame, you might kind of have to worry. There are some that they vomit more with than others. Trifexis is one that animals will vomit with more than others, even though I think it's a great product and Fancy takes it every month. I just make sure that Fancy has a full stomach or she has recently eaten when I give her her Trifexis. Another thing you can do is actually take that Trifexis and split it in half. Maybe give it half of it with food like at one meal and half of it with food like, say, the next day. You do want to keep it close together when you do it. But I believe that Trifexis is the one that most people vomit. We rarely ever hear of anybody vomiting the Interceptor Plus or even the Bravecto. We just don't hear about it. So sometimes there can be something weird, like your dog has an allergy to like beef, and that might be why it vomits those kind of pills. So we have to be careful and always tell your veterinarian if your dog does vomit repetitively after one type of heartworm prevention, because we've got lots of them to try. But that is never, ever, ever a reason not to keep your pet on heartworm prevention. In our area, all it takes is one mosquito bite. All of us get mosquito bites, whether we're in our house or whether we're outside running around in the evenings. In Kentucky, we got mosquitoes. So all it takes, one mosquito bite to a dog to infect them with heartworms. And it costs a lot. It costs mostly close to $750 to $1,000 easy to treat them completely to clear them of heartworms. So it's a lot better to spend 6 months of Interceptor Plus is roughly like $50. And that also takes care of all intestinal worms, roundworms, hookworms, whipworms, tapeworms, everything. And my own dogs living on the farm, they're always eating something they shouldn't. And they've gobbled it up before I can say anything. So I know every month with Ellie and with Polly, it's a great thing to give them the Interceptor Plus because it's deworming them for everything. Next would be allergies. Allergies have been kind of crazy this year. When we had that really dry spot and then we've had the rain and they kind of been better, but then we're getting ready to go to fall and so they'll pop up again. But allergies in dogs are different than people. What do I get? I get sinus congestion and my ear hurts and runny nose for some people and chronic drainage. Dogs don't do that. Dogs with allergies get skin problems. And we don't do that. So where ours concentrate right here with allergies, theirs, they inhale the allergens and then that causes them to have skin problems all over their body. Common things we see is red, dry, yucky, nasty ears, or shaking their head all the time, or scratching at their ears. We see licking their feet a lot. That drives everybody nuts at nighttime when you're trying to sleep. And chewing on their legs, licking on their bellies. That's a very common thing. And then sometimes we will see that with that they'll get a yeast infection, or sometimes they can even get a staph, which is a bacterial infection. And so commonly I'll see those kind of three things. I see allergies, yeast, and I see bacterial or staph infections. So what we recommend is we have to treat any infection that they have, whether it be the staph or the yeast, with medications, but then you've got to concentrate on the allergy. We have a great new allergy product. They say it's as good as a steroid, but no harmful side effects. It's called Apoquel, and we have introduced it in this practice, and people love it. You have to do a loading dose where you do it twice a day for 2 weeks, and then you go to once a day. We have not had a client yet that has told us that it didn't work. Everybody loves it. So that would be what I would recommend. It's the new thing going. We also do have some new injections. We have an injection called Cytopoint. It is not a steroid shot, so it's a lot better and healthier for your pet. And it sometimes will last 30 to 60 days. And for people who can't pill their dogs, that's the way to go as well. So we got new options out for allergies. People always tell me, oh, my dog's allergic to its food. I hate to tell you, it's probably not. Less than 10% of allergies actually come from a food source. And if they do have a food allergy, it's to the protein source. So when people tell me, I put my dog on a grain-free diet to help with its skin, that's crap. I have to be honest. Grain is not what they have allergies to. They have allergies to the chicken, the beef, anything. I usually say try them on a salmon-based diet if you think that that's the case. But overall, it's rarely that it is truly a food allergy. It's mostly in our area, everything else, just like we're allergic to. The trees, the dust, the mold, the grasses, the plants, everything, the weeds. So those are the things that mostly they're allergic to, just like us. But don't forget fleas. When dogs are chewing from the middle of their back all the way to their rear end, then it's probably fleas that are on them. And they can have flea allergies. Very, very, very common. And of course, with that, we just recommend to do the Bravecto and make sure they don't have fleas on them. Send us in some more questions. I'm tired. I'm ready to go home. Hope y'all have a great evening. See you tomorrow.